What's up, you guys? It is Jack back filming another video for you guys. So let me just preface this video by saying, growing up, I was a goody two-shoes. I was a straight A student. I was on high honor roll. I was involved in National Honor Society, tutoring kids. I was involved in athletics to cover up my homosexuality. I was also in Spanish club. So I never really had time to do drugs. And that's probably why today I'm not really involved in drugs. I've smoked weed. That's the extent of my drug use. Also, shout out to Dare. Fun fact, I actually led the Pledge of Allegiance at my 5th grade Dare graduation, so but anyway, yeah, I know nothing really about weed, drugs, all that stuff, so keep that in mind as we progress further throughout this story. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, you guys, so I matched with this boy on Tinder. He was good looking, he was cute, he seemed to be able to hold a conversation, and those are my three, you know, check. That's all that I require. So we eventually agreed to hang out. I Ubered to his apartment, we ordered Chinese food. Literally everything about this date, at least the first half of it, was almost painfully normal. It was a little bit boring. Nothing really stands out in my memory as being interesting. It was just a very normal date. About an hour and a half into the date, he turns to face me. We were trying to figure out what to watch on Netflix. He turns to face me and he goes, "Hey Jack, do you want to smoke a little bit of weed with me?" And okay, like I said at the beginning of this video, I have smoked weed before in my life. Every single time I've done it though, it has been with somebody that I know really well. I have never done it with a stranger. Anyway, I was like, "Jack, have a fun, like live a little, fuck it. Just smoke a little with this guy." Okay, so that's what we did. We ended up vaping. I don't really know the difference between smoking and vaping. Like I said, I'm not knowledgeable about this, but we vaped. Everything was fine, I guess. And then when we finished vaping, he was like, "Oh, hey, do you want an edible?" And okay, time out for a second here. You guys, I am an overthinker. I know some of you assume nothing is going on inside this head of mine, but I swear to God, I overthink everything in life. And when I smoke weed, if I smoke too much or I get too high, that characteristic of overthinking, it gets a lot worse. I am the definition of an overthinker, and I'm aware of this. But another thing that I'm aware of, and I've recently tried to fix this, but when I'm on a date with a guy, okay, I always want to seem fun and adventurous. So I do things that I would not normally do to kind of impress them and to seem fun. For example, a perfect example of that is taking an edible that I know I should not have. Because last time I took an edible, I've taken an edible once before in my life, I ate it, I went home, I sat in my room alone and cried. But, like I said, I wanted to impress this guy, so I was like, "Oh yeah, it'll be fine, I'll take the edible." So I took his edible, I ate it, and then I was like, "Thanks for that edible," which, bad idea. So anyway, I swallowed the edible, my stomach acids were like, they started dissolving it, turning it into shit, whatever they do, I don't fucking know what's that. I'm not a doctor. Also, can we just say, like I said, I led the Pledge of Allegiance at my Dare graduation in 5th grade. Thank God no one in the audience had a crystal ball, because I was up there on stage all high and mighty being like, "Haha, I'm a good kid, I'll never do drugs. I pledge allegiance to the flag," and then fast forward 15 years, I love edibles. But anyway, it was inside me, there was nothing I could do about it now, and I remember thinking, I was like, "Okay, Jack, maybe this will be fine. Maybe you won't get paranoid this time around." But moments later, that paranoia came and knocking. Knock, knock, knock. And I opened the door wide open and went, "Oh, haven't seen you in a while. Come inside, come inside. Would you like a glass of water?" Initially, what set me off, I'll be entirely honest, and I think you guys will understand this. This guy, like I said, I didn't know him very well. He was kind of a stranger, and he didn't take an edible with me. I remember I was like, "Oh yeah, you should have one too." And he was like, "No, I can't. I have to drive later. I'll be driving you home, and I don't want to be high when I'm driving you home." So I was like, "Oh." Have you ever seen a movie where a drink is poisoned and they're like, "Wow, cheers," and the one person drinks it and the other just goes like, and doesn't drink it, and then they laugh and the person dies? Like, it felt like that kind of moment. So I kind of had this moment of reckoning where I was like, well, I mean, it's inside me now, there's nothing I could do, but let's hope and pray that that was actually weed in that edible, and that this guy is not, you know, a nice date rapist over here. But anyway, we were lying in this guy's bed and we were watching a nature documentary, and I distinctly remember this, okay? We were watching this documentary and it was like nice. The colors were nice, the scenery was beautiful, and then for whatever reason, I don't know, the documentarians decided they were sick people because randomly out of the blue, I like look up and it was a crab in a rainforest getting like eaten alive by army ants, and I was like, what the fuck? You sick fucks, like, stop this, get off of him. You get down from there, like, what? Turn this off. So anyway, he changed it from the nature documentary to the Kardashians. I dig it, okay? And I don't remember what was happening. Something funny happened in the Kardashians and I could not stop laughing. I was laughing and laughing and then I stopped because I thought I peed. I thought I peed myself. I could have sworn that I did. I was like, what the fuck have I just done? I just peed. So I was feeling around down there and I was like, is it wet? I can't really tell. My hands are clammy. And the guy touches me on the shoulder because he was behind me and he goes, are you touching yourself? And then we made out, which, okay, sir. Eventually I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. Thank God I had not peed. There was no wetness down there. But I looked in the mirror and I was like, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror when you're like high or drunk and you just like don't recognize yourself? You're just like, wow, I look awful. Like my face was red. I was like shiny. I looked like I had been like raised by wolves my whole life. So you guys, I eventually leave the bathroom. I go back into his bedroom. I lay back down on the bed. And this is where my paranoia entered its like second more advanced stage. So you guys, he started giving me a back massage, which is totally normal. But I kept looking down at my phone because I was like,
what fucking time is it?
Like I could have sworn I had been there for hours. Well, it's been 84 years. Like I could have sworn I was there forever. I was like, who is the president? Like, what year is it? I looked down at my phone and literally only 40 minutes had passed. And that's when I entered into weird headspace where I was convinced, like 100% convinced that something was wrong. Like, it was not weed that he had given me, it was something else. So I went to the bathroom again and I was Googling things like edibles, like what it feels like to be high off an edible. Should I feel tired after taking an edible? And you guys, half of me, and I know this is a funny video where I'm like joking, but half of me was honestly convinced that I was being roofied. The other half of me was convinced that I was being, you know, overdramatic and like clickbaiting myself. Then the other, the other half of me, I have three halves. The other half of me was convinced that he had actually meant to give me weed, but it was laced with something. So you guys, over the course of the second half of the date after I had taken that edible, which was about like up 2 hours, I was in the bathroom for a good, like maybe like 25 minutes of it. I eventually reached like my like third most advanced stage of paranoia, and I was just straight up Googling like, am I being roofied? How long after you take a roofie do you pass out? So yeah, that's what I was Googling. And the longer I was in the bathroom, the more it kind of dawned on me. I was like, wait, what does this guy think I'm doing in here? Like, he has to suspect that I'm up to some weird shit. I've been in the bathroom so long. He probably thinks I'm fucking shitting. Like, let's be real. He probably thinks I'm shitting in here. Regardless of whether or not he was a date rapist, he was still a boy, and I don't want boys to think I'm shitting. I'm a gentleman. I would never do that on a date. I would go home. Also, part of me was thinking, if he was a date rapist, he must be so turned off by the fact that I keep going to the bathroom. I honestly was imagining and envisioning every second I spent in that bathroom, he was back in his room, like lying on his bed, rolling his eyes, being like, ugh, I wasted a roofie on, you know, this poopy pants, like I should have saved it for somebody better. That's humiliating, honestly. Like, I potentially could have been the only boy in history that gets roofied and then not date raped after because my date rapist is too grossed out to touch me. And honestly, like, how do you even explain that? What even happens? Like, what? Could you imagine, like, could you imagine that court case after where, like, I'm in a courtroom and the judge is like, well, the evidence shows you never touched him, but you roofied him. Why did you do that? And he'd be like, well, Your Honor, it's because he was shitting everywhere all night long. And I'd be like, oh, Your Honor, I object. I'm being framed. I was peeing, okay? And then I would run up and grab the gravel or whatever it's called and be like, no, I was peeing. I was not shitting, okay? Case dismissed. Life imprisonment for you for accusing me of shitting in front of all these people. How dare you? Life in prison without... You want the electric chair? Then bitch accused me of shitting again. Turns out though he wasn't a date rapist, and it was just I was very paranoid and very high. Eventually like my high started fading, everything was just kind of like relaxing and mellowing out, and I remember we finished watching the Kardashians. We watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and then we were kind of just like chilling in his living room. He had a fireplace. His apartment was honestly really nice. I wish I had seen more of it and I remembered more of it. I mean, I saw a lot of the bathroom, but we were just kind of chilling by his fireplace, and I remember he was like, wow, that was like a cute date. And I was like, excuse me? A cute date? I didn't have 1 mental breakdown, I had like 8. How did he not like, it just fascinates me. I'm the kind of crazy you honestly have to watch out for, because it all happens in here. I will have 8 mental breakdowns and no one will be the wiser, because I have a fucking poker face. I have a, you know, poker face, poker face, like I am a true actor. He ended up driving me home after the date and I ate donuts. It was a happy ending to what was a very stressful, horrible experience for me. Like, that was really bad. I just need to stop smoking weed and taking edibles. I need to stick with my tequila shots and stuff like that. Moral of the story, if there is one, don't do things to impress people, anyone. Like, if you don't want to go on a roller coaster because you're gonna throw up, don't go on one. If you don't want to take an edible because you're afraid you're gonna go crazy, don't take an edible. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've made efforts to fix this. I don't really try to impress guys anymore, but yeah. Anyway, that's all for this video, guys. Comment below your thoughts. That is the story time video of my new worst date ever. So yeah, if you want another video by me, I will link below last week's video. First of all, follow me on Instagram at jmerridew. My Snapchat is jmerridew as well, and my Twitter is officialjackm. And if you want another video by me, linked below, I will link below last week's video, which was a video about reacting to gay porn. So that will be linked below. I don't know when this video is going to get uploaded. I think I just uploaded yesterday a video, total ASMR video, where I'm like, hey you guys, what's up? How are you? Today we're going to be talking about, like, we're going to go on a date and then we're going to hook up and it's going to be cute. Like, it's an ASMR hookup gay date video, so that will be linked below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.